Okay, we're going to attempt to fit Luca's new harness on him. I went with the Balance. It's the Blue 9 Balance harness, which was suggested to me by a friend and a very experienced trainer. And so I bought a small. So even though he's going to grow out of this relatively quickly, I wanted to get him started right. This is a front clip harness. There's a clip in the front and one in the back. And once I, start working with Luca on loose leash walking, I can show you why that is important or how it works if you want to use both in training. But essentially the reason that I like the front clip harness, like I've mentioned before, is because it keeps the dog from pulling. Not if you have a super duper strong puller. You might need something like a gentle leader to work on, to train with before you move to a harness like this. But these harnesses do tend to help with pulling more so than the back clip harnesses, which kind of give the dog all the leverage they need to pull with all their strength. Hey, don't eat the carpet, buddy. No, don't do that. Here's your bowl. There's your bowl. What was I gonna say? Oh, and I went with this brand. Like I said, it was recommended to me because it apparently doesn't restrict any part of the dog's movement and doesn't, hey, Luca, no. Do not eat the carpet, please. All right, time to give him something to do, okay? Which is gonna be to condition him to like this harness. So just as I do with anything and everything that is new and different, that he's never seen before, I like to start off by, you can see Fred in the background there. I like to start off by just letting him know that this is a positive experience. Having this new thing put on him is a positive experience. So it's funny, I used to work in a dog daycare ages ago, 2 different dog daycares actually, and when the dog parents would come to pick up their dogs, it's like all the dogs had different harnesses, and it was always so frustrating to try and fit all these different harnesses on the different dogs. It's one of those things that's can be a little bit frustrating at times because there are so many different ones and they all fit differently and they're all confusing. At least they look confusing to me when you first take them out of the box or whatever. So I was just reading the little card here and trying to figure out how this works, and of course there's a proper way to fit it. So what you want to do first, or what we will do first, is this part here goes, like Luca's head comes through here, and then the blue part goes on the back, and then these straps come up underneath around his body, and they say you want this to be able to loosely fit right on over his head. So what I'm going to do is get a little cookie here. I'm going to invite Luca to come and get the cookie. Good boy. And I'm going to put that, good boy, put that on him. Good boy. And we'll do that, whoa. We'll do that part, whoa, hey. Even during these exercises, it's important for him to have some self-control, relax. So we'll do that a few times so he gets used to also, not just, I could just sort of have him look at the harness and treat him if he was a really kind of anxious or fearful dog or had a hard time with new things, but not really worried about that. So we'll just go ahead and practice slipping this on a few different times. Oh my gosh, I'm like a shark. Good, now he's got it on him. So, and again, this is kind of his lunch, so I wouldn't otherwise be giving him so many treats, like if he'd just eaten or something. So, okay, so this is supposed to go on loosely around his neck, but I think it is still a little bit too big. You probably want it to fit a little bit more snugly than that. I'll work on tightening the straps later. I just kind of want to show you, because otherwise this video will be way too long. But we go one more time. Gentle. Good boy. Good boy. Here. And then practice putting, obviously have to tighten this a whole bunch. It's like sort of let out all the way. And even though Luca's a big puppy, he's definitely not this big. What is that? See, so it's like super loose. And so then but I'm just kind of practicing putting it on and having him practice, good boy, putting it on. And so that's about that. Come here, buddy, over here. Nope, over here. Here. He's having a hard time following my point because the treats are over here, so this is a big deal. Come over here. Nope. Yes, Good boy. So there we weren't luring, but rather the treats acted as a distraction. There we go. Okay, anyway, so we'll come back once we have this thing actually fitted, and I'll talk about just starting to work with him on walking on a leash using this harness.